So how will they react to watching one of Porno Dan's live shows in action? We've brought them back to immoral.com to see popular game show Fuck a Fan.
Are you ready? Yeah, I think so.
Welcome to Fuck a Fan! Yes, the happiest show and the happiest place in the world.
These 4 porn fans have won the chance to have sex with 3 porn stars.
So let's go ahead and get the girls completely naked.
Cameras ready and Fuck a Fan kicks off. With all 3 girls moving on to contestant number 2, this orgy is in full swing. As this porn marathon reaches its 2nd hour, it's not even halfway through. And as Dan takes a break from the action, the guys want to know more about how he runs his show.
What do the girls do besides this? Do they do anything else, or?
The reality of porn is these days is just not that much work. You know, there's probably 500 girls that are active in less than 50 scenes a day being shot. And it's the same girls getting shot over and over.
Yeah.
So all the girls who are in porn, they have to have secondary revenue streams. Some of them feature dance, some of them webcam, and the vast majority escort. You're paying for the pussy, baby. I'm sure you have a proper word in English for it. Whore, hooker, hooker.
Back in the studio, one contestant makes way for another.
I'm leaning. Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, man. Who's moving me in? What?
By now, the girls have been on the go for hours, and it's beginning to show.
Holy shit. Oh, can I tap? Can I tap for a second?
Porn star Nikki Sex is totally exhausted, both mentally and physically. But this show is streaming live, and they can't cut the action. Watching the relentless use of these girls to entertain a mass audience is a sobering sight for Kevin, Danny, and even, for the first time, Jonathan. As the game show comes towards the end, the night descends even further as Porno Dan invokes his owner privileges and he and his staff get stuck into the girls. By now, all 3 of our guys have reached their limits and need to reflect on what they've witnessed.
This scene tonight was definitely a real, definitely an eye-opener compared to what, well, everything has been, but this I think has been probably the most.
Doing that would make me feel exploited, and I don't know, I'd have to stand in the shower for about 5 hours washing myself, just, I don't know, I would just
What, you'd feel dirty after doing
Yeah,
it?
the girls really love what they're doing there.
It's payday for them.
It's payday,
you know.
That's a really key question, do they actually enjoy it?
The industry wants the young 18, 19, 20-year-old, and after a while, they just diminish. They go, but there's always new flesh coming through, and so maybe it is just a meat grinder for young women.
Back at the hotel and away from the other guys, Danny's emotions are running high.
These people are just, it's like they've got immunity to care about other people's sort of feelings about love and stuff like that. It's just they don't respect themselves. It's weird. I can't explain it, but it's disgusting what I saw today. It was absolutely disgusting and heartbreaking. That's all I can say. It was absolutely heartbreaking. and they then took us to Porno Dan's place, and me and the other lads were like, oh god, what's this going to be? And Jess, the assistant producer, she was so funny. She was like, oh, she goes, I heard this going to be, I heard this is going to be like bestiality. And I was like, so what are you going to watch here? I said, I am not watching bestiality porn. She's like, I'm joking. She goes, calm down. She goes, just go in there and you'll see what it is. So we went in there, and it was odd. As soon as we walked in, I knew it was odd. It was the fuck a fan thing for Immoral Studios. Right. And the other two lads loved it. These girls were naked. The other two lads loved it. They were smiling, all smiles. And at first, because I didn't really still know what was going on, I was like, so okay, this is the laugh. So I hugged one of the girls. And then it got to about an hour, and these guys had to, there was a contest, it was 4 guys. They had to eat a cupcake, then spin around on a baseball bat, and then pin the tail to a donkey, and they had to do it in the fastest time. And which we was like, oh, ha, that's fun. And then the one that did it in the longest time only got, are we allowed to say sexual things on here? Sure. He got a hand job. And then the next one got a blowjob. The next one got to have sex with one of the girls, and then the fourth one, the one who actually came the least time, got to have sex with all 4 girls. Wow. But they all just had sex anyway. Everyone had sex. And at the first hour, I was kind of like, okay, this is a bit much. And then the second guy, when it was the second hour, was like, okay, this has got to be training. And I turned to the other boys, and they were like, and I was like, okay, they're enjoying this. And the third one, I was like, kept looking to the camera. I was like, the smells in this room, and like the looks on the girls' faces when they come off the camera, they're like, oh, it's blatant. They didn't like it. They were just sort of like, oh, this is just like, oh. Then they had to go back on camera and put a smile on, and I thought it was disgusting. And it went on from about 4 o'clock in the afternoon till about 1 o'clock in the morning, maybe. Wow, that's long. That was long. Well, because they did a bit of an after party as well, which was a barbecue, and which they kept us to. The other 2 lads, Jonathan was enjoying it. Jonathan couldn't really see anything that was gone, and Kevin was having like in 2 minds. He was like, okay, I can see it's a bit weird, but I kind of like, I don't know where to be, sort of thing. So we went at the after party. There was a couple of beers and stuff. And we decided to get in the car and go home. And the journey in the car and the way home was just very, very, very quiet. No one was really talking. Because we all, if you saw in the documentary, we all had a bit of a sort of a debate outside. And I was saying that I didn't think it was right. I didn't like what I saw. I would feel dirty afterwards. These girls didn't like doing what they did. And you could see that. And the guy in the wheelchair, Jonathan, then yeah, the girls did like what they did. They're getting paid for it. They enjoyed it. And it kind of made me a bit angry that he said that, because it was just being stupid and pig-headed about it. The car journey home was very fun because I was talking. Then we got back to my hotel room, and the director was like, can I just film you? And I was sort of jumping, like hopping around my room because I was a bit angry at it. So I just basically said it was disgusting. It was heartbreaking to see these girls like that. These girls were definitely on drugs or something. You could tell their facial expressions, the way they were biting their lips, they were on drugs. Wow. Okay, so you said that it was disgusting and heartbreaking to see these women because you felt that they were on drugs. Is that correct? Yeah, it wasn't. I didn't feel disgusting because they were on drugs. Everything was running through my mind. I kept thinking, why are these girls doing this type of porn as opposed to the sort of the porn that I did, where it was like scripted and it was good money. You sort of went in there consenting that you know what you're going to do. I mean, not saying these girls weren't consenting adults, but it seems like not they were being blackmailed, that they were made to feel they had to do it. Like, oh, you've got no money. Do you know what? I can give you the money. I can give you the drugs if you do porn for me. Well, they felt like they had to do it. They felt like they got deeper and deeper, so they had to do it. I mean, they looked like they were bright girls, and I felt it was heartbreaking for these girls. I mean, they're going to be used up in a couple of years. No one's going to want them, and then they're going to try and find relationships, and no one's really going to want to do that with them, and it was just sad. They can't physically be happy with the career that they're in, and for some reason I saw that, it was quite odd. I saw that. I don't know how I saw that, but That was what was going through my mind, and I think that was going through the director's mind, the assistant producer's mind too. It was just strange. It was a strange thing for us to feel. I'm glad that they took us there to see it, because we needed to see that. But it was odd.
So you got the impression then that they didn't really want to be there and they didn't really enjoy it. Is that correct?
Yeah, maybe at first they wanted to be there. Maybe at first they went naive and they didn't. They were like, "Oh, this is a bit of fun. Ha, ha, I'm a porn star. Wow, I'm a porn star." But then afterwards, I think they've gotten in too deep and they can't really get themselves out of that position. So they have to continue. I don't want to say blackmail, because blackmail is a strong word, but they've
pressured?
been sort of pressured or manipulated. Yes, definitely. I feel that may be the reason that they were doing it.
And did you feel, you said that it looked like it was hard on them physically because, you know, they had to have sex with so many people and it went on for hours. Is that correct?
Oh, that's definitely correct. Yes, they definitely, it must have been hard. I mean, for anyone to have sex with not just one, not two, not three, not four, but 6, 7 guys, 4, 5, 6, no, 4, yeah, 6, 7 guys in one day, that's got to be hard on anyone. I mean, it must have been exhausting and just tiring and horrible. I mean, as you saw in the documentary, I can't remember her name, I think her name was Nikki Sex. She was exhausted at one point. She was like, "Can I please tap out? Can I tap out?" And she tried to lay on the bed, but it was live. And she had to get back up and get back in there and just continue. I don't remember seeing her at the after party. Me and the director sort of sat back. We weren't getting involved in talking. We went like, a few minutes after, but I don't remember seeing her at the after party. I remember seeing the other 2 girls, but I don't remember where she was. I think she probably passed out somewhere.
Wow.
But I don't remember seeing her at the after party.
So it looked like at the end of that segment that not only did these young women have to have sex with multiple men throughout the evening, but at the end they had sex with Porno Dan and the other people who were running the show. Yeah,
they had sex with, I remember the other guy's name, and that was shocking to us. It was very shocking to us. We were like, "One second, after all of that, these guys are then going to jump in and get involved?" Wow, it was just, it was sad. It was really weird watching. It was just like, as you can see the reaction on our faces, I looked to the camera and then looked back. It was just, but I mean, they cut out a lot of our reactions, but they took the best ones in. It was horrible.
Right. Yeah, that did seem pretty shocking that, you know, their so-called employers were then using these women for sex, and it was almost like the women had to do it. I mean, it seems like it must violate some rules, workplace rules or something. You know, can't have sex with your employees, particularly after they've just
had... Human resources need to get involved or something.
Yeah, well, that doesn't really exist too much in the porn industry, as you're probably aware, unfortunately.
I can imagine.
Okay, so is there anything else that you wanted to say about that segment, you know, about how it was, you know, disturbing, or how hard it was on the women, and, you know, with them being on drugs and how it harmed them physically?
They definitely had to be on drugs. I mean, I could see, I don't know what you'd call the expression, like tweaking, I guess you Americans call it. They were tweaking, they were sort of biting their lips, and their eyes were rolling. It was sad. It was like, wow. At the beginning of it, you couldn't really tell, but then suddenly the girls would go to the bathroom, they'd come back, and then suddenly, hours and hours in, they would be rolling and tweaking, and like, wow, these girls are definitely on drugs.
Wow.
And I think they were sort of suppressing some that sort of emotions with using drugs, so they could feel they could do that, which is sad.
Right, that's pretty common in the porn industry and in the sex industry in general, you know. So just out of curiosity, so there's going to be people watching this video, and they're going to be saying, well, you know, if those women didn't want to be there, they wouldn't be there, and you know, they must have enjoyed it, and you know, look, they're smiling right over here. I saw them, you know. So what would you say to that?
They're acting. You look at porn like that, and they're smiling. They have to smile. They're going to get paid at the end of it. If they're on there and they're miserable, then nobody's going to watch it. But because the fact that they're smiling and they're all happy, it's because they're getting paid. And then after that, you don't see the effect. You don't see what they have to go through afterwards. You didn't see the girls being exhausted on the beds, asking if they could have like a 5-minute break after having sex for about 3 hours, 4 hours straight, 5 hours straight. What you see
on camera isn't what you see behind the scenes. That makes sense. And
Yeah.
there's a lot more that goes on. There's a hell of a lot more that goes on behind camera, and I'm just thankful that I got to see it.
Right. So your conclusion then, after seeing the reality behind the fantasy, is that what people see on the screen is not what occurs, and that what actually occurs is a lot worse and is very harmful to those that are involved. Would that be a correct assessment?
Yeah, this area where it's just, we'll get as many girls as we can in and just have a massive orgy. There's no way these girls could be having fun. It was, yeah, I agree with what you just said, yeah.